Well, good morning, Victor. You're looking as sharp as ever.
I'm sure you say that to all the boys.
So, did you get a chance to unwind last night?
Not so much.
No girlfriend to go home to?
No, not exactly. I do have someone in my life, but not a girlfriend kind of someone.
Well, aren't you mysterious?
Well, well. Good morning, sunshine.
Don't make me hurt you, Lane.
Sounds like somebody needs a coffee. How do you ladies take your coffees?
Lots
Black.
of cream and lots of sugar.
Yin and yang. I'm on it.
Now that he's gone for a second, I wanted to ask you something. I think Victor is kind of cute. You don't mind if I ask him out, do you?
Why would I mind? I wouldn't go for Lane if he was the last man alive.
Okay then, don't say I didn't warn you. Last chance to change your mind, Parker. I don't want to hear about any regrets.
Are you still going on about Lane?
Come on, he's a handsome man. Strong, charismatic, clever.
Wait, we are talking about the same person, right?
Who are we talking about?
The
The
killer.
victim. Finally, I found the cause of death for Theo Madsen.
Well, don't hold us all in suspense.
It was poison. I won't bore you with long chemical names, but here's what you need to know. It's soluble, odorless, and could be administered through food, drinks, or needles.
Skin contact?
Possible, but unlikely. The killer would need a lot of it for that.
Makes sense. Were there any track marks on the body?
None. So be careful what you eat or drink.
That's too bad. I was hoping to take you out to dinner tonight.
Well, maybe I could cook you something.
We can't assume all of the victims were poisoned in the same way. So let's start with Madsen. How could the killer have poisoned him?
Well, there was no one in the camera frame.
But there were tons of chemicals around someone could have used.
So what? We're looking for food or drinks the killer could have poisoned them?
I think so. A glass of water, an empty pizza box, something like that.
As far as evidence for a murder goes, a pizza box seems pretty boring.
Boring evidence means a smart killer.
Logan and Vicky had traces of the same poison.
No surprise there. These cases are definitely linked.
So the killer always has the same MO. Poison plus a guilty sign in the mail.
M.O.? Come on, Lane. This is not a TV show.
It kind of feels like one. A cryptic and mysterious case.
With a stunningly beautiful cast of detectives.
Anyway, we need to figure out how this poison was administered.
Well, Vicky did have that cake.
Good idea. I'll test that next.
Logan's case makes sense. I always have water when I work out.
But with Vicky's case, that house was piled high with potential items.
True. The poisoned item could be almost anything.
It's subtle. This killer is dangerous.
Well, maybe you can defend the killer once we catch them. Eh, Lane?
I think that would qualify as a conflict of interest.
This might surprise you both, but you actually work pretty well together. When you aren't bickering, that is.
Stella, did we ever get the report back on Theo Madsen's chemicals?
The big unlabeled barrel we found seems suspicious.
Those should be just about ready. Let me check. The chemicals in that barrel match one of the active ingredients in the sunshine pills.
That's conclusive proof then. Theo Madsen was producing the drug.
Nice work, you two. That's a big find. Not bad for your first week.
It's interesting. If someone wanted to profit from these drugs,
Why take out the one guy who knows how to make them?
exactly. That says something about the killer's motivation.
Two theories come to mind. One, this person is a competitor. They learned to make it themselves and wanted a monopoly.
Or two, someone is trying to cover something up.
Exactly.
So how does it feel, being a lawyer turned detective?
I just pretend I'm Bruce Willis and try to look brooding and manly.
Well, you're doing a good job of it.
And how about yourself? What sparked your interest in poisons?
Well, it sounds a little sinister when you put it that way. You can find chemistry in everything, from emotions like love to explosions from guns.
So love is just a chemical?
Love is a lot of things. One of those things is chemical.
And that chemical reaction can be just as dangerous as poison.
So, it looks like the cake wasn't the culprit for Vicky McDurmont's death.
Are you sure?
That's how sure I am.
So no arresting the cake, Parker. I know it's guilty until proven innocent, but
That's against protocol, Stella.
Oh, lighten up. We can't let this chocolate go to waste.
So, if it wasn't the food, I'd guess it was slipped into a drink.
I think I'm going to need a drink after all this.
tell me about it. I'm ready for a drink right now.
Oh, Lane, are those hydrangea flowers?
They are. They change color based on the chemistry of the soil. I thought you'd like them.
That is incredibly thoughtful, Lane. I love them. Maybe once we've finished work, we can go out for that drink.
First round is on me.
Something to look forward to then.
I've always hated waiting.
Ah! Oh! I didn't realize.
Well, that was a bit awkward.
There's my girl. I come bearing gifts. So, how's everything going? This first case sounds pretty complicated. I know that look. Anything I can do to help?
I've got it. I just need to clear my head, I guess.
Don't overwork yourself. It'll turn out all right.
Maybe or maybe not. It's not that simple, Dad. Sometimes things just don't work out.
You're the smartest person I know, Lily. Just give it time.
Just give it time. Don't you realize why you never made detective? You were always just waiting for things to work themselves out.
I didn't make detective. That's true. And maybe you're right about why. I was never as clever as you, but I know you, Lily. And I know when you're pushing yourself too hard.
Everyone's always telling me to relax while I do all the work.
I get it. Who am I to give advice? I guess I'm just trying to say I believe in you, Lily.
Well, you shouldn't. No one else does.
If you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. I know it.
That's enough. I put my mind to everything I do, and nobody cares at all.
I care. I love you, Lily.
I don't feel loved. I just feel alone. I can't do this today. I'm sorry, Dad.
It's no wonder I never made detective. I can't even figure out my own daughter.
Parker, I've got some interesting updates for you here.
About your love life? Please, spare me the details.
That was uncalled for. You did tell me you were fine with it.
You know what's uncalled for? Using the police station's lab like a cheap hotel room.
You've got to learn to loosen up, Parker.
What is with everyone trying to give me advice? What you did was just so unprofessional.
You know what I've learned in this line of work, Parker?
No, but I'm sure you're about to tell me.
You only live once, and it could all be taken away at any moment.
Whatever. What did you want to update me on?
Oh, right. The tests show that the poison takes some time to take effect.
How much time?
I think about an hour, based on the concentration seen in our victims. It all depends on the individual who was poisoned, of course.
Right. Well, thanks.
Good morning, handsome. Last night was fun.
Fun nights are usually followed by blurry mornings.
Maybe a hangover cure should be my next experiment.
I think an antidote for the poison that killed our 3 victims comes first.
Of course. I have been meaning to make one. I'll start on that today.
Excellent. In the meantime, Parker, let's figure out how our killer poisoned these poor people.
Are you sure you have time? You don't need to go flower shopping or anything?
Yeah, very funny. Let's go, detective.
Well, this security camera footage is totally useless now.
You're right. If the poison doesn't take effect for an hour,
We need to know where our victims were an hour before their death.
this killer is clever, that's for sure.
Unlike some people I know,
Anyway, he
or she.
or she is always one step ahead of us.
Here's what we know so far. Our killer knows quite a bit about poisons.
And they either want to stop the sunshine pills or take over the business.
We found that cryptic email to Logan and a locked phone. That's where we start.
Bucket?
Bucket. Playing bad music louder doesn't make it better, Bucket.
You're a woman of many talents, Parker, but an ear for good music is clearly not one of them.
Fair enough. How are we looking on that phone?
Cracked. No phone can resist my charms for long.
Too bad that skill doesn't translate to other things.
I'm impressed. Nice work, Bucket. Finally, a breakthrough.
What have we got? Read it out.
Vicky has a bunch of text messages from Colin Walsh.
Who's now a senator, a man with power and resources.
And a man who may be missing a nice watch. Listen to this. Can't wait to see you again, V. And tell your brother Logan he'd better stop what he's doing, or I'll make him stop. I won't be a part of his business anymore.
I think we need to talk to Senator Walsh.
Wait, are you really trying to say Colin Walsh might not be guilty?
Are you really trying to say he definitely is guilty of the murders?
These text messages show the senator was directly involved with the sunshine pills.
He may well have been involved with that, but that doesn't make him a murderer.
Are you insane, Lane? He threatened Logan, and then Logan ends up dead.
But why would he kill Vicky? They were lovers, right?
He's covering his tracks, Lane. Probably trying to cover up the drug ring.
Maybe. He probably used that money to fund his campaign.
Exactly. And now that he's won, he's going to remove anyone who could testify against him.
Maybe. But something feels off about that logic to me.
Listen, let me do the detective work. You just stand there looking pretty.
Looking pretty?
Fine. Just stand there looking mediocre and stupid.
Ready to go find the senator?
Stella, we've got some new evidence.
Looks like our newly elected Senator Walsh was romantically involved with Vicky.
And the sunshine pills. He's covering his tracks, killing the other people involved.
We think he might be covering his tracks. We aren't sure yet.
Nice work. This looks promising.
We're gonna go find him.
Oh, before you go, you'd better take this with you. It took a lot of experimenting, but this should counteract the effects of the poison. By isolating the right molecules and splitting them, they can recombine into benign.
Right. This is the point where I stop understanding what you're saying.
Fair enough. Just make sure you take it within 1 hour of exposure.
Hopefully we won't have to. Thanks, Stella.
You're welcome, handsome. Someone's got to protect you.
Hey, they're talking about Senator Walsh.
Great. Maybe we can find out where he is.
A landslide victory. Senator, how are you feeling about your victory?
I'm excited to represent the wonderful people here and look forward to improving our great community.
With the election now over, what do you plan to do next?
It's thanks to my friends, family, and supporters that I'm standing here today.
Not to mention a pile of drug money.
So my first job as senator is to buy them all a drink.
Look at his wrist. It's tanned everywhere except that watch-shaped patch of pale skin.
And it looks like he's at the Irish pub we were at the other night. Shall we return this watch to its rightful owner?
Looks like you're buying me a drink, Lane.
Now we're talking.
No need to save my reputation. I'm